Alright guys, what's going on? We are back with another podcast, as I always say in the very beginning of these things. This time, what we've got coming at you is spoiler talk for Deadpool. Now, if you haven't seen it, turn this shit right off. Actually, don't. We need the views and the subscribers. But anyway, I'm sitting here with Vega and our newcomer, Andrew. Why don't you guys go ahead and say hi?
Yo, 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 yo.
What's going on?
That was Vega.
What's going on, world?
That was Vega and Andrew, respectively. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to talk about here is that Deadpool, in our last podcast we talked about it being, our predictions being the most fan service slash best received by fans out of all the comic movies. We didn't think it would be the huge money maker that it's become now. It's currently sitting at $609 million worldwide on a $58 million budget. It's got an 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb and an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. So this movie's really hitting all the check marks that it needs to hit. Anyways, let's get straight into the spoiler talk. Again, spoilers, motherfuckers, if you're listening. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't come here to listen to us. Anyway, Andrew, newcomer, take it away, man. What's some of your favorite parts of the movie?
I loved, honestly, from beginning to end, very great movie. I loved all the comedy. I loved the references to a bunch of the X-Men stuff. I honestly, like I was talking to Pat earlier before, I love the Professor X reference.
Well, hold on real quick. No one knows who Pat here is. He's just Vega.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I broke the fourth wall here.
Yo, Andrew,
we are talking about
Deadpool. EWE names.
Yeah. We were all talking about Deadpool. I'm breaking the fourth wall. The whole Stewart and McAvoy joke was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great joke.
That was my favorite moment, probably.
Yeah, that was I was
dude.
dying laughing.
Spot on.
Yeah, and the whole my favorite joke of the whole movie had to be when he goes to the X Mansion and he speaks to Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and he's like, every time I come in here, I always see you and Colossus. It's almost as if the studio didn't have enough money to get more X-Men.
That was such a great little tip of the hat to the audience.
It was so great just because of the fact no one would have thought they would put the X-Man, like the mansion in there, you know what I mean?
I will say, when I saw that in the movie, I was like, holy shit, Professor X's fucking mansion. I did not expect to see that.
Same thing, bro. I had the same reaction. I was just like, dude, there's no way they put this in a movie. And then when he says that, it was just topped it off.
Yeah. I'll say right now my two favorite moments of the movie, other than the opening credits, I think we got to talk about the opening credits. Never seen anything like this.
Yes, exactly.
We've got when it says produced by asshats, directed by an overpaid tool, CGI character, a gratuitous cameo, like those kinds of things. I'm like, I would have never even thought to put that in the movie, and that's just a great little cherry on top, with the movie. I love that shit.
It was a good way just to open up the film and just have us like sitting there like, oh shit, this is gonna be some funny shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
Like little things. It was little things like that.
Into the song,
Oh, no, go ahead.
Just call me Angel,
Oh yeah.
I was just like, fuck. That's awesome.
You gotta give it to Ryan Reynolds and the crew that he was with, because it was really them who did all that. And honestly, I'm gonna keep watching Deadpool as long as it's them doing it. I can't see anybody else. I can't even see anybody else as Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool to me.
You know what? For years, fans have been saying Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool, and the guy proved it in this movie. Everyone put their heart and soul into this movie. This was a movie made by the fans, for the fans, and hats off to you guys.
I just think it's crazy how it's already past like X-Men, like with money, like money-wise and stuff, like how good it's doing and stuff.
I mean, holy shit! Look at how much money it's made. I would have never predicted it'd be making $600 million, and it's only been in theaters 3 weeks?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, Valentine's Day for 3 weeks. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, man.
Unreal.
Yeah, I gotta say too, I think the funniest thing to me about going to see this movie was walking to the theater, just seeing parents with their young children, and
awesome.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in the audience. I'm just like looking over to see what the reaction is gonna be from the parent to their like 10-year-old son, and it was just I couldn't believe it.
I'll tell you what, man. If more people had listened to our last podcast when we said explicitly, "Don't take your young children to see this," it would have saved a lot of uncomfortable talks between parent and kid. But
also, another thing I think that movie did great was instead of just starting the movie off with him just being regular Wade Wilson, it kind of just like went back and forth flashbacks to show like continuing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, the non-linear storytelling, that was something I
Yeah,
really dug,
exactly.
and I didn't expect it. I mean, I expected a straightforward, you know, A to B to C kind of three-act structure,
Storyline. Yeah,
but
exactly.
you know, they went a little more Pulp Fiction on us, and I really dug that.
Oh yeah.
I think two of my favorite moments of this movie were in the first two acts of the movie. Actually, you know, as good as the third act was, and as much fun as it was, I didn't have as much fun with it as I did the first two acts. And two of my favorite scenes were one when we first meet Deadpool and Colossus together, and Deadpool rears back to punch Francis, and he hits nothing. He hits fucking steel. It's right in Colossus's crotch, and he's like, "Dad," you know.
Yeah.
And he goes to hit him again in the crotch, and he's like, "Your poor wife." You know, those kind of lines, I dug it. I loved it.
Also, the scene with Colossus like handcuffs him and stuff, and he just saws his hand off. And
Oh
then,
yeah, have you ever
and
seen
looks at his
127
finger.
Hours? Spoiler
Yeah.
alert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can quote this movie a little bit more because I have seen it twice. I've seen it twice in theaters now. A lot of fun, great movie. My second favorite moment in the movie or scene is actually with Deadpool and I think his name was Mohinder or Dopehinder, something like that. The
The
taxi
Indian
driver.
dude, yeah, dude, hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
I was telling Andrew that before. That
yeah.
guy cracked me up, man.
Oh,
Just
I
at
know.
the end.
And when yeah, exactly. Towards the end, when he's driving him to the final battle,
Yep.
and he's like, and he's talking about how he's got his love rival in the trunk, basically. And Deadpool's like, I did not tell him to do that. Good job. You know,
So I was
that
telling
was,
Andrew that like right before we started recording. I just told him that scene had me dying.
dude. I was rolling, man. He's like, you know what? You got to get her back and make her love you. Kidnap her. You know?
It just was truly Deadpool. You know
It
what I
was
mean?
great.
It wasn't any like studio trying to take over. It just felt like I was like looking at a comic book.
Yeah, I gotta say, it felt like the studio was pretty hands off with this one. Now, as far as Fox involvement goes, I don't know how deep their hands were in on this, but I had a great time with this movie, and you know, very few gripes. I've got maybe two to list off, but before we get into the cons, which I mean they're very minor, why don't we talk more about what you guys liked about the movie? Favorite moments? Go ahead.
Dude, the little arm had me dying.
Oh
That little arm, are you kidding me?
yeah.
That little hand scene when his hands is like a puny little hand just touching her, the blind lady in the face. Oh man, come on, bro.
Yeah, and he's like,
Had the crowd going.
you should probably leave the room because it's gonna feel huge in this hand. Great, great fucking line.
And then how about this? We're getting Cable in a movie, bro. We're getting fucking Cable in a movie.
Yeah, that's in the
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Ferris Bueller after credit, bro, was just classic.
Oh yeah. I
So you
loved
guys-
it.
Oh, so what? You guys are still here? And then he comes out and says, "Cable, oh, Cable will be in the next movie," like so nonchalant and shit.
What I
Oh,
love
man.
What I loved about that ending credit scene was when he goes, "Oh, what did you expect, Sam Jackson with an iPad?"
yes. And I will say, I got to give it up. I got to give it up to the crew of Deadpool for incorporating this in the end credit teaser. Is as somebody who has worked in a movie theater before, him telling you to pick up your shit and throw it away because it's a dick move to leave it there.
Guess
It,
what?
it really is a dick move because
It's funny. It's funny because all three of us have worked in a movie theater before, so we all know how that is.
yeah,
It's
no
funny.
one wants to have to clean that shit up. It's fucking
No.
annoying. I don't care that
Horrible.
I've on occasion found a $20 bill. Clean your shit up. So
I agree, dude. It was the worst when he's going to a theater and have to clean
sweep
up a
up
bunch of mess. But
popcorn.
that's beside the point. That's beside
Yeah,
the point.
anyway,
Deadpool told you.
Yeah, I love that they did that, and I actually saw people in my theater picking their shit up after he said that. So I give you a round of applause for even saying that, Deadpool. Way to go.
Just respect. It was respect to Deadpool.
Oh
yeah. You know the thing I loved about this movie in general and the whole hype behind it coming out was that, like I've been reading Deadpool since I was a kid, you know, and I know when he first came into the game, Deadpool was a little different from the character you see on screen.
Right.
But as he's grown, they really really stuck to the source of how Deadpool really is right now. Like you pick up a Deadpool comic in the comic book store, you're gonna get the same. It's like you hear Ryan Reynolds' voice when you're reading these comic book
Yeah.
panels, and that's what I love about this movie is that I'm watching the movie. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna go home and finish reading the rest of my Deadpool comic books,
Or
and
rereading.
it's awesome. I think that's the best thing about it is that after this movie, you get people who probably never got into comic books before now wanting to see, hey, let me read a Deadpool comic book because this movie was freaking awesome, and if it's anything like this, I'm gonna love it.
Right, and you know what? I think that's true for any successful comic book movie that comes out. You know, when Avengers came out, I'm sure sales skyrocketed on the Avengers titles and Iron Man, you know, all of them. So respectively, I think they're all going up, and I think it only helps the comic book industry. But you know what? This movie, Deadpool, really stands alone in its own genre. Yeah, it's a comic book movie. No, it's not a superhero movie. No, it's not a villain movie. It's an anti-hero movie, but at the very core of it also is it's a love story. It's a revenge story.
Yeah,
It's a very
it really is.
it's a very basic premise, and that's what I loved. It didn't try and get too
Too
convoluted.
much. It didn't try to go too superhero on everyone. You know?
Exactly, and the story didn't try and it wasn't trying to be too complicated. It knew what it was. Again, breaking the fourth wall, being very self-aware. It's a lot of fun to watch. But the movie
And-
knew what it was. It was simple. It was a revenge story. It was a guy looking for so and so. So and so takes this guy's girl, and you know we have ourselves a slash fest by the end. It's a lot of fun.
The best part is too now with the whole Ajax thing. Now the whole like everything on social media is like Deadpool. So we're having a sword fight with the bot of like this show,
Yeah,
this show
like-
Ajax.
I even see shirts. You know, people are always advertising their shirts and shit on Facebook. There's now a Deadpool one that says "Training to Beat Francis."
Yeah, dude, classic.
Right. Oh, and
Oh,
Hydra
man.
Bob. Did anybody catch the Hydra Bob cameo?
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
that's when I first saw that when I was at the theater and I saw like him say like Bob, I was just like, no way, they're
Yeah.
doing the Hydra.
Yes, that shit was classic, bro.
And even though they didn't say it, the third act, the final battle, that was like a run-down, decrepit version of a helicarrier. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It had to be. They say it's not, but come on.
Yeah, that was a helicarrier through and through.
Dude, it was a helicarrier to the max, bro. I don't want to hear them lie to me and say no.
Yeah, you know what's
Deadpool.
funny? When I first saw the trailer and they showed that one clip where he's hanging off of it, I was like, is he hanging off the helicarrier? I was like, how?
I didn't catch that at all in the trailers, and when I saw the movie, I was like, holy shit, that thing looks like a fucking helicarrier.
Yeah, once I saw they did, there's got to be a helicarrier, and then they come out and like, oh no, we wouldn't put the helicarrier there. Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. This movie has nods on every single part of every single freaking movie. And something that's not a helicarrier? Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, some little tidbits that I really loved about the movie too was how it made fun of itself in a way too, like how it showed the figurine from the X-Men Origins
Yes,
Wolverine
the
movie.
yes,
Baraka
exactly.
pool, yeah.
And the Hugh Jackman references. It was
Yes.
it was just funny. It was just so good at like Ryan Reynolds was so good at just making fun of himself, even with the Green Lantern reference.
Oh,
when
dude,
he's
I love
Yeah.
those
going
Green
through it.
Lantern references. Those are just
All of the pop
Right.
culture references in the movie they just worked, and maybe
They
they'll
hit
be
perfect.
dated 10 years
Yeah.
from now, but you know what? They work here in the present, and I appreciated them.
that's what I like too. That they didn't try to force really anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was expecting some like maybe some forced jokes, but none of the jokes forced. They all just like went perfect.
Oh yeah, it had great flow, and I think the biggest point about this whole movie that changes the whole superhero genre of movies. I mean, I know we've had rated R superhero movies in the past, like Blade, and
Watchmen.
other movies as well. I can't think of right now, but this movie is the highest grossing rated R superhero movie that's come out,
Oh yeah.
and I think that really changes the game now in this industry.
My thing is, I just hope people just don't force itself to become rated R.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You don't need
That's-
to
that's my
emulate Deadpool. It works for Deadpool. It's not going to work for every hero.
Like maybe if like DC came out with like a Lobo rated R movie or something, you know, things like that.
Don't give them bad ideas. Just in,
I'm
just in
sorry.
case they're listening, man.
Hey, think
But
about it. Think about it. They're already giving Batman vs Superman a DVD rated R.
yeah.
But anyway,
I mean,
that's beside the point. It's
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Let's stay on topic. We're going to try and keep this nice, short, and succinct. We're not going to give you an hour-long podcast like.
All the other ones.
Yeah, exactly. We want to keep this nice, keep your attention. You know what? Let's move on to the things that I feel were a little bit more on the con side as opposed to pro, and I've only got two, and they're very minor. You know what? Let me chalk that up to three, and one of them is just because I'm a horny little fucker. But first one is I thought they kind of made Colossus out to be a little bit of a bitch. Him and Gina Carano's fight, he was kind of getting manhandled, and the whole time I'm like, you know what? Deadpool took a punch straight from this bitch in the face. It just knocked him out. But how is she throwing Colossus around? And you know, I've heard other people defend, hey, Colossus was holding back. He's a gentleman. He's not going to go all out on a woman. There was a point in that fight where he's like, all right, I got to take this bitch seriously. And he was still getting manhandled, and I didn't like that. I liked that the jokes regarding Colossus were kind of at his expense. But Colossus should have been handing this bitch her own ass, you know. And I was a little disappointed that Colossus wasn't, you know, throwing down a little bit harder.
I will agree that you know, Colossus could have been a little tougher on the tougher side. I will say that he is the best rendition of Colossus we've gotten.
Oh yeah, by far. I'm not disputing that at all.
Oh yeah, but I do agree that I wish we could have seen a little bit of a tougher Colossus. I do understand the whole he was being a gentleman thing, because we do have that one scene where she has the nip slip.
Exactly, that was my other con. I was like, come on, Colossus, let us see that fucking nipple, dude.
You are such a savage.
Yeah, dude. I was like, come on, like, I mean, her tits are like popping out the entire movie. Let us see a little nipple. But I get the contrast.
I hear what you're saying about Colossus not being as tough as he should be.
Yeah, and I get the contrast, like Colossus kind of plays the older brother, the more responsible one to Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Deadpool. He's kind of the counterbalance to both of their offbeat, if you want to call it, personalities. But I just wanted to see, like, you piss this Russian off, he's going to kick your ass. You know, I wanted to see a little bit more of that. And, you know, when she's choking him out with that giant wire, and it almost looks like the organic steel around his neck is starting to crack. I'm like, dude, do something about it. I know you got it in you. But anyway, so again, small gripe.
Yeah, but every movie has a gripe, so it's alright.
Right, there's no such thing as the perfect movie, unless you're talking about Pulp Fiction, in my opinion. I quote that movie way too often. My other gripe, other than Colossus not letting us see the nip slip, is from what I've read in the comic books, what I've played in the Deadpool game, I love that Deadpool kind of seems to have the angel and devil on his shoulder, and he kind of talks to himself. Yeah, it's usually through internal monologue, and I was kind of hoping to see something a little bit like that in the movie. We didn't get that, but I was kind of hoping to see something like that where he's kind of talking to himself and going nuts. We saw a little bit of that when he gets stabbed in the head and he's sitting there kind of daydreaming with the unicorn animations around around his girlfriend and shit. But I kind of wanted to see him, you know, go fucking nuts, lose his mind, and have those internal struggles, but them just be another reason to just laugh our asses off.
Yeah, you know, hopefully in either Deadpool 2, I'm guessing, or X-Force, we get that, hopefully. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice to see, just him kind of like playing the good side or the bad side, and which one, you know?
Yeah, it's just...
Well, yeah.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think maybe my smallest thing that I had thought about, it wasn't even something I thought was bad or anything. It's that the one thing I thought about was, man, I wish Fox gave them more money, because I feel like if
their budget was shit, man.
Yeah, I really wish that was my thing. Like, if they would have given them some more budget, we could have seen a lot more Easter eggs and a lot more characters on screen that we could have seen more of. You know, that would have been cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this movie had for a movie like this, when you compare it to DC and the rest of the Marvel slate, I mean, this budget was fucking nothing. So what they may do with what they
You
had.
have to give them credit for what they did on that, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
give them
can't
so
fault.
much credit.
Oh yeah, especially because you know it took a lot of time, man hours, and money just to go in there and animate and emote the eyes in Deadpool's mask, you know, especially when Francis gets away and he does like the Home Alone thing. You see his eyes get
Yep.
huge,
Yep.
you know, shit like that. I mean, those small little subtle attention to detail are just the cherry on top of everything.
And then another thing about this, they had a lot of attention to detail, and they really focused on it and really came out and brought it to us and gave us everything they had.
Oh yeah, and they even had the attention to detail. If you look at like the freeway signs, they're the last names of writers and artists that
Yeah,
were on
writers and art.
Deadpool.
Yep, exactly.
So I mean,
Exactly, they are.
this movie paid attention to every frame, and the only time that I really felt like I saw noticeable CGI in an action scene was when Deadpool and Ajax are. I'm gonna call him Francis. Fuck Ajax, he's Francis. I'm gonna fucking spell it out for you. But when they're fighting and
The
Ajax,
helicarrier.
yeah, when Francis
Yeah.
throws the axe at him and Deadpool catches it midair and throws it back at him, you can definitely tell that's a CGI Deadpool. It's definitely not a stunt man or anything.
Yeah, no, you can.
You know,
Yeah, there were some scenes on there you could tell when he's on there that you could tell the budget was like it was kind of tough for them.
right? You can see where the restrictions started to take their toll, but overall, the movie was great. I'm sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
It's funny too that you mentioned because the CG, even the CGI, even the noticeable CGI part was way better than I've seen CGI used in like I'm gonna say it, Spider-Man 3. Let's let's look at that scene where he's doing that whole Green Goblin and him
Well,
chasing.
yeah,
That
but
CGI was terrible. I mean, I know for the time.
yeah, I'm saying let's be fair. It's about 8 or 9 years in the past, so. But yeah, no, I completely agree. The CGI is passable. It's very few moments when you know it's CGI as opposed to live action. So I can't really gripe about it. It's just something small that I've picked out that, you know, maybe your general audience moviegoer doesn't really notice or pay attention to, but we as fans and aficionados of the genre at least, we notice those kinds of things.
But now all I have to say is that since we pretty much covered everything, what a great opening way to start the season, CVM season, huh?
Fuck yeah, dude! It's only
Great
February, and we've had one of the best comic book movies of all time. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, this definitely started with a bang, like with Deadpool.
Yeah,
Kinda.
it's almost scary to think that the rest of the movies this coming out this year. I'm talking about Batman vs Superman, Civil War. Although I'm not really talking about Civil War. I know it's gonna live up to it. You know, Age of Apocalypse, Suicide Squad. Like, I'm starting to think that, man, I mean, Deadpool really set the bar high this year. Are these guys going to be able to live up
really
to...
did. Can these people live up that?
Exactly.
It's going to be tough. And know what's going to happen to a lot of people are going to put it on the same scale as that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, and
Well,
February is going to start being a huge target for studios for releasing movies like this. I just know it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially if it's a success. Definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like you said, it was the start, and now we're hitting that peak moment in the comic book movie year, which is obviously I don't want to get off topic, but this month we got Daredevil and we got Batman v Superman, so you got to see how Deadpool and how like what's gonna be the like what are people gonna say at the end, like, oh, Deadpool was still better. Is that what we're gonna hear, or are we gonna hear other? We don't know.
You know what? And if you go back to our last podcast, I'm plugging right now, guys.
Very smooth. Very smooth.
Yeah, if you go back to our last podcast, we all agreed, me, John, and Vega all agreed that Deadpool would probably be the highest form of fan reception. I think overall this movie is going to be the most well received of the year by the fans. I think the rest of the movies are definitely going to divide the fans. Critical reception, as I said, IMDb's got it sitting at an 8.5, and Rotten Tomatoes has it 84%. That's a pretty tough mark to beat. I mean, you're talking about a February release on Valentine's Day weekend, and $609 million already in 3 weeks. That's a hard fucking thing to beat. So I think the rest of the movies have their work cut out for them.
Definitely, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyways, I want to give us our final thoughts. Like I said, I wanted to promise the audience that we're not going to go too long into
deep.
this. Yeah. I mean, we talk about the highlights of the movie. So, let's give our final thoughts on Deadpool.
Andrew, start it off.
Well, like I said, I definitely loved it from start to finish. I can't wait for the sequel because I know they're gonna do it now. I mean, if they didn't, Fox would just be playing dumb because they gotta milk it now because this is the best thing that Fox has probably put out in a long time.
This is their
And
Iron Man, you know?
yeah, exactly. And that's what Marvel did with Iron Man. They were like, Iron Man was the fucking greatest, and we're milking it now. We got Tony Stark basically in everything, and we got like now that the studio knows how good Deadpool did, now they know we got to put more money into this. We got to let them, do what they got to do. Yeah.
Let them do their own thing. Yeah. So my final thoughts on this is, now where does Fox go from here? You have X-Men Apocalypse coming out. What are you going to do after that? Because you're probably going to have a Cable coming in it. I mean, now time travel and all that shit with X-Force now. What is their plan?
Exactly. They got to make the timelines make sense now because like that's the biggest problem I've seen with Fox's studios right now.
Well, that's a different topic for a different day. That's
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we can go off about that forever.
But my final thoughts, Deadpool, A+, man. It was just so much fun. I haven't had that much fun in a movie theater in a while. So I'm glad it kicked off the right way, CBM season.
All right, Andrew, what would you grade this film?
Are we talking from 1 to 10 type thing?
Whatever
Or,
you want. I mean, fucking Vega just gave it an A+. You want to give it a gold star? Like I don't have a conversion
I'll give
chart.
that shit 3 thumbs up.
Three thumbs up.
And a 10 because I loved it so much.
Well, 3 thumbs up in my book sounds like 2 thumbs and a boner. So, all right, cool.
Oh yeah.
Where it stands for me, if I'm going to be objective, I'm going to give this movie about a 9 out of 10. I mean, again, there are things that could have been better. Very small gripes, but all in all, I had a great time at the movie theater. I've seen it twice in theaters. I paid both times to see it. Well, no, actually, I only paid once. But, great film, great time, a lot of fun. Go see the movie if you haven't already. But if you haven't already seen this, I don't know why the fuck you're listening to this in the first place. So, anyways, guys, any final thoughts before we get the fuck out of here?
Hey, everyone, big thing coming out. Me and Mr. Fudge over here. After this podcast, we're going to start our church, Nerd Church podcast, everyone. It's going to be a legit podcast, a lot of segments on it. Want all of you to follow it and come back and subscribe to my man's YouTube channel.
Definitely. Andrew, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, and another thing I want to say is definitely subscribe to these guys' YouTube channel that's coming out. And if nobody knows who I am in this internet world, I know I'm a small dot on the radar, but you can follow me. I'm actually a illustrator for comic book art. You can follow me on Instagram. It's art_of_Andrew, and you can check out some of my artwork there, and you can email me, and you'll find a link to my website there as well.
Get his art. His art is sick.
Yeah, you guys, I really want to put this out there right now. I'm not just being a gratuitous little, fuck boy. But
Yeah.
I'm really not. Guys, I've seen Andrew's art. This guy can fucking draw. It's amazing. What I'm gonna do for Andrew is I'm gonna leave the links in the description below to his art channels. Take a look. The guy also does commission. If you want him to draw something, he'll draw it up. So get a hold of this guy. This guy can fucking draw. Take a look. And as Vegas said, we're gonna rename this podcast channel to Nerd Church Podcast, and we're gonna start our own segments. So
we're gonna make it a little bit more legit. You know what I mean? Probably have it weekly or bi-weekly. So be ready, people.
yeah, and you know what? We're gonna start our own weekly segments. We're gonna start talking about the comic books that we're reading. We're gonna start making suggestions. We're gonna start talking about everything that's relevant coming up. So
I'm gonna make a Twitter for it, so everyone start following it. It'll be probably at Nerd Church or whatever. So.
And who knows? Maybe if they let me, I'll join in on some of these.
Andrew will definitely be back. It's been a lot of fun to have. Anyway, guys, I think that's about all we've got for you right now. Again, stay tuned for the next one, which will probably be a Nerd Church podcast. And also, we want to let you know we want to engage the audience a little bit more. So you know what? Right now, I'm going to promise you, best comment that we get on this video, we're gonna quote it on the next one. Anything that makes us laugh, anything we think is funny, even if you want to make fun of us and talk some shit, go ahead.
Exactly. We're funny people.
Yeah, we'll quote it on the next podcast, guys. Come on, get involved.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, you guys, you have a great time, have a good night, and thanks for listening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.